Hey guys, it's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be doing a brake job on the BMW 335D. We're changing the front brake pads and rotors, and we're going to do a quick brake fluid change. So tag along and let's get started. First thing you want to do obviously is loosen up all the lugs on the wheels, lift the car up, put jack stands. I already did all that. Your next step is going to come up here, open up this panel right here. It's really easy. It's two clips. This clip right here, and just make sure that the brake fluid doesn't overflow as you install the brake pads. Now I've already done one side. This side is brand new and already installed, so I'm going to show you guys all the little tips and tricks I learned from doing that side, but just keep an eye on that, and that's pretty important. So we're actually going to open this up and we're going to change the fluid out as it maxes out, and then it's not the best way to flush the fluid, but this is not a race car or anything. This is a daily commuter, so it's a quick and easy way to do it. I'll show you guys how to do that. If we come over here, we can take a look at why I decided to change the brake rotors. The brake pads are actually not too bad. They have not a lot, but they have enough meat left on them. The main reason is the rotor was pretty warped. Now, in case you don't know, this is a tuned 335D, so it's it's almost 600 foot-pounds of torque, almost 400 horsepower. It's really fast. It's actually a very fast car, so I've been driving very spiritedly, and what that causes is the rotor to warp after quite a bit of time, and running my finger through it, you could kind of feel the brake deposits, you can feel the warped. But the main issue is this lip right here. Once you have a big lip like that, you kind of know it's time to replace your rotor. So I went ahead and ordered a StopTech front axle rotor and brake pad kit from Tire Rack. The price was unbelievable. I'll put a link to it below. But it comes with everything you need to do the front axle of the car. Actually, you can buy both axles. You can buy the back and the front. And, they do come with these ventilated and drilled and slotted rotors. My first choice would not to get drilled rotors. I don't like drilled rotors. But, like I said, this is not a race car. So really what I was looking for was the best price for a rotor that I can get. So it is slotted. It is drilled. Again, not my first choice, but the price was unbelievable for everything that it brings. So it actually brings new dust caps. It brings this new clip retainer, which is awesome. It comes with these StopTech street pads. I like StopTech. I'm a big fan of StopTech. I'm gonna run StopTech on my Type R, and it just pretty much comes with everything you need. So taking a quick look here, the easiest procedure is you just have to take this off right here. This is the retainer for the rotor. Take that off. Take the clip off, not too hard. In the back, there are a couple of 7mm Allen key bolts. You loosen those off. Everything comes off. You clean everything up. Put everything back together. It should take me no more than 10 minutes. Now, before you do anything, one little trick to make things easier is you just take a flathead screwdriver or whatever, you kind of put it right in there. That way, you start doing things, it won't keep rolling around on you. So that's a 6mm Allen. We're going to go ahead and take that off with some force. So easy, so easy. Next step is to take this off right here. There we go. There's a little plastic piece you have to come off. You could use a screwdriver, but a little bit of wiggling, it goes away. This is a 7mm Allen. Now there's two of them. There's one up here, one down here, and one up here. But I'll show you how to take this one out, and you guys can figure out the top one. So once you take these back bolts out, you don't have to take them out, but I did. They're pretty easy to put back in. This is what they look like. These back bolts go in the back. You have to compress the inside, and the easiest way to do that is to take the same flathead screwdriver, something like this, and just kind of stick it right in there, and just start finagling. Since I'm changing the rotor, I don't care about getting the rotor all scratched up. If you cared about the rotor, there's other ways you can do this that won't scratch up the rotor, but it's cheap enough where you can just, if you're going to change the pads, might as well change the rotors too. In my opinion, that's, you know, race car driver mentality. Just brakes are so important. I change the whole thing out every time. So you take your flathead screwdriver, put it against the rotor, and pull. That's going to compress the brake caliper. I'm going to check the fluid right now to make sure I'm not going to overflow. That's the last thing I want. Well, it's a good thing I checked the fluid reservoir because it was about to overflow. So I went ahead and checked it. We're going to compress it to the end. There we go. Like I said, I don't care about this rotor. I'm replacing it. So if you care about the rotor, do not do this. They sell, I have the tool actually. You can compress it on its own, but I want to skip that step, save myself some time. So I'm sacrificing the rotor. There we go. It'll come right out. And there we have it. So now that the caliper is off, I have hung it with a bungee cord. It's really easy to just get a bungee cord and hang it so it's not hanging off the brake hose. It's just a little precaution. This brake pad's still on there. It's interesting. As you can see again, the brake pad's not that bad. It's in decent shape. It's the rotor that really was in need of replacement, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. So out with the old. These are pretty heavy rotors. One step most people skip is cleaning off the surface here. I like to make sure it's nice and clean. Last thing I want is wobbles. Good enough. In with the new. To line up the holes correctly here. As you can see, the process is really easy, and I line up all the holes. We're going to put this screw in first. This is the locator screw. As you can see, this is R for a right. Stop Tech wants me to put this disc on the right hand side, so I did. I'm going to take the sticker off, put the screws back in, put everything together. We're almost done, boys and girls. Remember, this is the 6mm Allen little bolt right there. So one cool thing that makes it easier for me to install these brake pads is that they actually come with these little clips, and they actually hold up right in here. So the front is this clip right here goes on this side, and this clip right here goes on the back. Very, very easy. So as you can see, I mounted the brake pads on the caliper. You can see the clips right here. This one has 3 clips, mounts to the cylinder right there. So after the brake pads are on, the caliper just slides right back in. Contact has been made. Next up is we gotta go back here, put the screws back on, or the bolts back on. Alright, so I already put the bolts back on, so I'm gonna use these brand new little covers that it came with. I'm gonna pop them back in. Very nice. I'm doing them now because I forget to do it later. Alright. Then I have a brand new little clip. I could put the old one back on, but since I have a new one, why not use the new one? This is probably the trickiest part of the job. So, to show you guys, alright, so now that that's in, the hard part begins. I found that you'd put the screwdriver up against here, press on this, and you let it go, and there we go. All set.